You are in your 20s, staring down life after graduation. I'm in my 40s, staring down a midlife crisis. What I have to say, what you need to hear, these may be different things entirely, but perhaps not. What do you want? A degree? Congratulations. A job? Money? HDB? A home? A family? What do you want? Maybe to learn more chemistry to fix global climate change. Or if you're like me, maybe you want a pile of books and time to read them. There are lots of good things to want. The problem with wanting things is this: sometimes we get them. Getting what you want feels great for a while, but here's my experience. The thing that you got doesn't really make you happy. The feeling fades. Remember what it was like when you were admitted to Yale-NUS College? Felt awesome, didn't it? But the feeling fades. 4 or 5 years later, you're ready to go. It sucks to realize that this is the way of things, because you know that the next time you get what you want, it won't necessarily make you happy. You might think I'm going to recommend a Buddhist line here, something about the renunciation of desire, the non-existence of the self. I'm afraid that won't do. You do exist. I believe in you, and I've been telling you that since you arrived at the college. A desire of good things is fine. But I will say something that Buddhists say. We suffer because something else happens when we get what we want. It's taken from us. What do you want? Money? You'll make money and lose it. To fix the world? I'm afraid the world will break again. Love? You know what happens next? Death, divorce. Of course, not everyone gets divorced, and sometimes we manage to hold on to our bitcoins. I still make this prediction. Something you want, something you love will be taken from you. The gods give with one hand, and they take away with another. Maybe this hasn't happened to you yet, but it will. It will. See, this is the cheery pep talk you get when you invite a guy in a midlife crisis to speak to you. All things must pass. Time and chance happeneth to them all. This should have been a day of joy without sorrow, a celebration of how far you've come. But it's tinged with sadness because we know what happens next. Something we loved and wanted, the college, is taken. This is not a theory. In a few short hours, the college will be no more. No students, no college. Careless outsiders may guess that the best of Yale-NUS lives on in some successor. We know better. This is nonsense. The college will be gone. Nights in the buttery, tape days, shared suffering in the common curriculum, capstone triumphs, students who cannot tell you in one sentence where they are from. Slimy ecopond turtles, slimy dining hall chicken, seeing a random picture online and knowing exactly where on campus it was taken, maybe even by whom. Gossip, love, the sweet mate who ate your snacks and never confessed. The college itself, all things must pass. Here's what we need, not preachy advice, not more things to want or ways to get them. We need comfort. Here and now. Solace. When so much is taken from us, where may solace be found? The answer I'm going to suggest will sound sentimental, but I believe it's the only one that works. So let's talk about a poem. Shakespeare's 30th sonnet begins with a meditation on loss. Dear friends who die, sorrow and tears, things we treasure but never got, our own heart's desires unfulfilled. I'll use my poetry voice. When to the sessions of sweet silent thought, I summon up remembrance of things past. I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought, and with old woes new wail my dear time's waste. Then can I drown an eye and use to flow for precious friends hid in death's dateless night, and weep afresh love's long since cancelled woe, and moan the expense of many a vanished sight. Then can I grieve at grievances forgone, and heavily from woe to woe tell o'er the sad account of fore-bemoan moan, which I knew pay as if not paid before. That's the opening. You can think about it later. There's a mouthful there. The point is, life is sad. But the closing couplet, as always, changes everything. But if the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end. This is where we find solace, our own dear friends. The college's gift to you wasn't books or credentials, and it wasn't the home we'd hoped it would become. It's these people around you for as long as they last. In their mercy, the gods leave us with a gift, each other. Not forever, but for now. We will remember what we had. The bonds that connect us are real. Though sometimes buried, they'll last a lifetime. The slightest smell, a curious little phrase, a very bad joke, will bring those bonds back to the surface in an instant. Decades from now, we'll have stories to tell, tears to share. I hope we'll make fun of ourselves a lot. In fellowship, losses are restored and sorrows end. When news of the college's closure was announced years ago, I told you the long goodbye that began the day you set foot on campus. The deeper truth is this: the long goodbye began the day you were born. It ends with death. For this, we are not wrong to mourn, but we do not mourn alone. Dear friends, you have been my solace. Thank you. And I leave you, class of 2025, with this blessing, that you will find solace too.